Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana, and we're here today with special guests, Sisters J.J. Elliott Hill and Natalie Elliott Handy, who are here to share with us supporting caregivers using CVS Specialty. As we honor those for National Caregivers Day, are you one of the 105 million Americans caring for a loved one who is injured, wounded, or ill? Well, our guests today are here to share with us how to support a caregiver. So Natalie Elliott Handy is a seasoned healthcare executive with a passion for serving others. She has over 24 years in the health and human services industry. She has worked with children and their families, partnering with local and state-level government agencies and community organizations to meet critical mental and behavioral health needs. She believes in the power of advocacy, using her voice and position to bring macro-level change on the local, state, and federal levels, serving on committees, task force, planning groups, and boards. In August 2022, she was honored to be appointed by the Governor Glenn Youngkin to serve on the State Executive Council for Children's Services. She's also a co-host to the very popular show Confessions of a Reluctant Caregiver. J.J. Elliott Hill has cultivated an extensive career in finance, dedicating over 17 years in the commercial banking sector. Her expertise in strategic planning for small to mid-sized businesses, focusing on asset management and effective debt utilization, stems from a deep commitment to helping clients achieve profitable growth. She transitioned from the corporate world to entrepreneurship, co-founding 3 startups over the last 11 years. JJ received her Bachelor of Arts in Economics from Holland College and her Master's of Business Administration in Executive Management Studies from the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. She's a certified aging in place specialist with the National Home Builders Association and a candidate for the Certified Caregiving Consultant, Educator, and Facilitator certificates from the Caregiver Years. She's also co-host to the popular show, Confessions of a Reluctant Caregiver. So welcome to the show, JJ and Natalie.
Hi, thank you for having us.
My goodness, what an honor it is to have the both of you here and to talk about National Caregivers Day. I mean, the role of caregiver is so essential. After passing of your father, and I'm so sorry for your loss, you and your sisters found yourself in this very important role of taking care of your mother. Can you share that journey with us?
Absolutely. I like to say it's a love story, Marianne. Our parents were married for 40 years, and our mom was actually diagnosed with Parkinson's at 52. She'd had it since she was 48 is when the symptoms really started. We always thought our dad was going to take care of our mom. That was the plan. And our dad passed tragically at 58 years old, and that was back in 2011. Our mom was okay until about 2019, and that's really when Natalie, Emily, and I, there's 3 of us, stepped in and we started taking care of mom full time.
Wow. I think that's a story a lot of people are experiencing right now. And again, I'm just so sorry. What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced while caregiving for your mother?
You know, it still goes on today because she now is in a skilled nursing facility, but for us and for caregivers everywhere, there's a lot of isolation. It's hard. You feel like everything you're doing is kind of a fight. And I think what I would tell everyone is that you've got to, as an advocate, Natalie and I, Emily, we have to find advocates for ourselves. We always, we like to share. In 2023, for example, we had a really difficult situation. Our mom has a specialized medication that she utilizes, and due to a clerical error with my dad's pension company, they weren't going to pay for her medication. And we called CVS, and they said, nope, your mom's going to get her medicine. And that's doing the right thing. And when I look at that, they were an advocate for me. And I think that's one of the things that caregivers have to realize. It's a hard job, but you find the right people that help you, and it makes it easier.
I think a lot of people ask the question, like, who's caring for the caregivers when these type of situations occur?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I think that's where it's so important to develop a team. We advocate for caregivers to allow other people to support you. And that can be friends, it can be family, it can be connections that you make through your family physicians. And also, unexpectedly, we never expected to find an advocate with our mom's medication and kind of relating back to what JJ said, we met Eileen. Eileen was our advocate at CVS Specialty Pharmacy, ensuring that our mom's critical medication, there would be no gap in her receiving that, because she has to have that medication for her to survive. And we were just so blessed.
Yeah.
I don't think it's until people go through that situation, they realize how important it is to have this team in place.
Right.
I mean, what a blessing it was to be able to uncover that.
Yeah.
Well, and without that, that's where people start to experience isolation, loneliness, and it leads to burnout. And so we very much, especially on National Caregivers Day, we encourage people to care for the caregiver. How can you advocate for them? And that can be simple things like, dropping off food to them, even if they don't ask. I mean, if you know this person, you know some of their likes, you know things that might make their life a little bit easier, listen for opportunities of how you can support that individual and take that step proactively, because that is just simple kindness.
Yeah, I think it's just even mowing their lawn, Mary Ann. It's little things like that, dropping off a pizza, little things like that are life-changing for a caregiver.
It seems that each of you, your siblings, have really utilized your own unique strengths when caregiving for your mother as a team. What advice would you give to others, especially those that don't have siblings, who are just starting their caregiving journey?
So, as you said, we each have our strengths. My background is finance. Natalie is really healthcare. And then our youngest sister, Emily, is the mom to everyone. So we all use that. One of the first things we always say is, for anyone doing it by themselves, our heart goes out to you. It is find your team. Now, again, who is that team? It can be anyone. It can be the postman that brings your mail to the door. But it's find the people that have the heart to help you, that will do the right thing. And those are corporations like CVS Specialty. Those are people that you don't know. They're just unexpected advocates.
I know when I go pick up my aunt's medication, having that relationship with the pharmacist is such a big deal. And you see them like every month. So you develop these relationships. I think most people don't realize that having like a CVS Specialty advocate as part of their team is such a great resource.
Absolutely. And, I was just picking up some medication the other day, and that's one of our favorite things we always joke about. We know those people, and that's what we love about going to CVS, because they become family. They are extended family. When I go through the drive-through, these are people that I know, and they know me, and they, how are you doing? And, or if I go into the store, I'm picking up a couple of little extra things. And, but the reality is that there are lots of people who would be willing to help you. And it may not be the traditional person. It may not be a family member. It may be a friend. It may be a work colleague. It may be, again, your mailman. Our mailman was, drops off our mail or holds our mail, for example. They know about what's going on in our life. And I think those individuals are so important to have.
Yeah. You just have to ask sometimes, and you have to accept that help. And as a caregiver, that's really hard, but it's not a sign of failure. It's just knowing yourself.
Caregiver burnout is a real issue. So how do people manage to cope with it?
So you have to set your boundaries, and we would strongly recommend that you take time. Now, what is time? It can be 10 minutes. It can be a walk around the house. It can be dancing in the kitchen, which is one of mine and Natalie's favorite.
Singing.
We do. If you have 3 to 4 hours. It can be just doing something that you love. We had a lady once say with 3 to 4 hours, she just wants to get her car washed. But it's finding time, and time can also be using technology. There are so many applications so many apps that you can use now that save your time. It's ordering medication online. It's checking your deliveries. Like for us, checking the delivery of my mom's medication online. That it's made it there, which is a joy for me, and I don't have to call the facility and wait on hold. It's just taking care of yourself and taking time and knowing that you should get that time. Don't feel guilty about taking it.
Well, JJ and Natalie, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
To learn more about partnering with CVS as an advocate, visit CVSSpecialty.com. And to listen to the award-winning show, Confessions of a Reluctant Caregiver, visit confessionsofareluctantcaregiver.com. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Mary Ann, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Mary Ann is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Mary Ann will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmaryann.com for more information.